Hello all you lovely people, Jennifer Ziliotto. I'm back for another Style Fix video, and today, because we are in mid-June and it's really starting to feel like summer here in Montreal, I thought it would be kind of fun to do a video that I haven't done in a while and talk about my summer reading list. I'm so excited that summer is around the corner because there's no greater joy for me than sitting in the backyard and reading a book. And reading several books. Having a pile of books to get through, I find, well, I'm not the only one who feels like this. I find it kind of exciting. So I've compiled some books that I want to read this summer and I'm going to share them with you. All right, so the first book on my list is called Entitlement by Rumen Alam. Now, I just have to quickly say this because you may or may not know this, but my father is a retired librarian and is now a painter, and a lot of the books that I get come from him. He is constantly doing research, scouring the best-selling lists, the New York Times best-selling lists, the Pulitzer Prize lists, and he sees something that he thinks I'll like, so he sends it, which is really nice to have somebody curating a collection of books for me, I have to say. So I don't know much about this book. The reason why it's in my pile is because it's one of the latest ones that he sent and it seems really intriguing. It feels to me like it's a little bit of a thriller, having read through the reviews on the back. And it's about a young woman and her sort of, from what I understand, her brushes with money and billionaires and her thoughts about how money changes people. But again, like I said, there's a little bit of a thriller aspect to this, which has gotten me intrigued and makes me want to read this summer, because it's always fun to read books that you can't put down in the summertime, and this feels like one of those to me. So if you've read this and liked it, please leave a comment down below letting me know. Next up is another book that my dad bought, and I have to say, I kind of giggled when he got it, when it arrived, and then I opened it, and I could not put it down. It feels like a total guilty read. This is number 2 in the series. I think I read number 1 in the course of a weekend, and that's the Bridgerton series, also on the New York Times bestselling list. This one is second in the series, The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. Now, I loved the series. I don't know if you saw it and liked it. I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. So I was a little bit like, okay, am I gonna like the book? And I do like reading the books that are then later made into series. I prefer reading them before the series, obviously, but that didn't happen in this case. And what's really cool about Julia Quinn, which I did not know, is she grew up wanting to write romance novels, and it is a total romance novel. And it was actually better written than I thought, which surprised me. I learned quite a few historical facts along the way, which I liked. And this is just a really, really fun read. So if you're looking to sort of escape into this world, I want to say Edwardian England, I'm not sure if that's correct, but this world of ballrooms and manners and all those gowns and all those kinds of things, then this is a really fun read. I'm excited about this one. Like I said, I gobbled up the first one. And Dad, if you're watching, you can go ahead and send me the third. All right, next is another book that is a historical novel. I've read another one of her novels, Kristen Hanna. This one is called The Nightingale, and she wrote also the Book of Names, which you may or may not know. It's set in World War II, and it's basically, the idea is that we're going to see and enter the world of how women played a big role in the war in World War II. I mean, Nightingale, so you can kind of think why. I like her books. I find them really easy reads. I find they're interesting because you learn some things. And I think that it's nice to have easier reads in the summer, just because, you know, you can take it to the pool, you can be on the beach, you can be on the dock, you can kind of be a little bit distracted. You don't have to concentrate in the same kind of way. So sometimes it's nice to dive into a bigger novel that is an easier read. So I am excited about this. I also really love reading detective novels in the summertime. I think it brings me back to my days when I was a young teenager reading Agatha Christie in the backyard. Like, it's just, there's just something so much fun about it, getting to know a detective really well and being immersed in that kind of world. So I've been holding on to these two books to save for the summertime. You probably know her, Louise Penny. I mean, you either love her or you hate her. I happen to love her. They're based here in Quebec, which is so much fun because I feel like it becomes really relatable, and in the Eastern Townships, in an imaginary town, which is gonna make me want to go there on a day trip, probably go for lunch, see some of the sights of Montreal, where Gamache, if you're familiar with these novels, it's based on a little town, like I said, an imaginary town in the Eastern Townships, where obviously have been murders, and the main detective is Detective Gamache, and he sounds like you just love him. And I feel like she's created really, really great characters, Louise Penny. And so I've got the two that I'm missing in the series because I've only read 4, I think. A Trick of the Light and Bury Your Dead. Now, I know I'm probably very behind with the Louise Penny series compared to some of you, but I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, I've been saving them to devour them in the summer because this is such a fun read. Okay, next and last on the list, and I hope I get through all these books because a few of them are quite big, is a book that was gifted to me, not from my dad, and it's not a novel, which I'm excited about. It's a handbook for the rest of your life, which, who doesn't want something like this? It's called Holy Moments by Matthew Kelly. Now, this is something else you probably don't know about me, but when my mom was first diagnosed with her illness, which eventually she died from, she was in the hospital and we were all so stressed and worried, and my sisters and I really quickly figured out what we could all do to kind of help the situation. And for me, I decided every morning I would send out a quote of the day to, at first it was just to my mom and my sisters, and now it has grown to about 25 people. And the person who gifted me this lovely book is on that list. And this quotes of the day has been going on for, I want to say 8 years, 9 years, maybe longer. And I've been doing it pretty much every day. Sometimes I illustrate them. And there isn't necessarily a lot of back and forth, but every once in a while I'll get an email from somebody saying how much the quotes have been helpful for whatever reason of what they're going through. And so Mary, lovely Mary, one of my mother's good friends who was so helpful in the time of her being in the hospital, sent me this book. I don't know much about it really. I've just quickly leafed through it, but it's another one I'm sort of saving. So I think it's all about enjoying life, taking time, finding the holy moments. And this is one of those books that I feel like reading books like this every once in a while gives you a little bit of perspective. And especially in these crazy times, this is a book that I know I'm going to cherish. It's also because Mary thought of sending it to me, which is so lovely. And she sent me another book. Sorry, I have to say this, which is another one that I love. This is going to be not a book that is on my list, but this is a honorary mention. Let me just grab it. Refer to all the time, Melody Beattie, Journey to the Heart. I don't know if you guys know this one, but it's so gorgeous. It's about a woman who, it's based on her, like it's her real life, and she's had gone through a really hard time, and so she goes on a quest later on in life, and every day she writes about what happened that day, and then there's a little quote at the end. This book is beautiful. So Mary also sent me this, so I know I'm gonna love this. All that to say, I'm excited about Holy Moments. So that's it. That was a kind of a long list. I feel like I've talked your face off today. Thank you for listening. Don't forget again to leave a comment down below about any of these books. You know I'd love to hear from you. I always do. Just one quick thing. The Accessories Stories workshop is coming up tomorrow. I'm really excited about this one. It's going to be fun. It's a little bit different than the past workshops. There's still some spaces left, so feel free to go ahead and buy your ticket. The link, I'll put the link down below. And of course, for more style ideas, more inspiration, you know what to do. Continue to follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, and now on Substack.